You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't
Man, oh, you dear, sweet, lovely personal injury lawyers. Every billboard. Injured? Question mark. Quit
Injured?
it. Stop it. Injured? Injured? Stop
Injured?
it. Like we could get more creative. There are two billboards on I-15 from two competitors. I love you both. I want to close you. Please use Hona.
And now we're back live. So, another episode of Shift Happens, and couldn't be excited more to have our guest joining us today, Levi Lindsay. A lot of you guys here in Utah know Levi, pretty accomplished in your space, done a lot of cool things. But I think just to start this out, Levi, if you want to introduce yourself, just a little bit about your background, and then we can dive into the episode.
All right. I'm Levi Lindsay. Mostly male modeling. Um, if you've been on I-15 and see the Lola billboards, like with the blanket, I'm the like half naked guy under the
Thought you
Porsche
looked familiar.
with just like the six pack. So that's like my main gig, but then I do marketing for legal tech on the side. Just kidding. So I'm VP of marketing here at Hona. It's legal tech software here, based in Orem. And I've bounced around. You can see I have ADHD from my LinkedIn. I've been at neighbor.com, Kizik, Shift, which is ironic because the podcast is Shift Happens, which I'm shooting myself. That would have been a good name for the Shift podcast. But anyway, so just doing marketing and just trying to yell as loudly as I can on LinkedIn until someone will listen.
And you're
Why?
over at Hona, and I know a little bit about Hona, but if you want, just maybe kind of give us a brief breakdown because I think you guys are doing a lot of cool things in the legal space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hona in particular, our flagship product is if you were going through like a personal injury case, your lawyer would purchase Hona to be able to give to you to see the status of where your case is at. So you could see like, oh, I'm in the demand phase. That means this. And here's a little video from my lawyer explaining what the demand phase is. And then you'd get a text message saying, okay, it's time to upload these documents. And so it just helps guide the communication, the status updates so that your client, the client of the law firm stays up to date on where their case is at. Lawyers love it because we work with lawyers that don't get paid hourly, they get paid contingency. So the more they're talking to their client, the more they're spending overhead and the less cases they can take on. Um, and then the clients love it because they just want to know where their case is at, like they would want to know when a package is going to be delivered to their house. So it's a win-win for the lawyers and for their clients.
I'm curious how you got started in marketing in general.
That's a good question, man. I think I very distinctly remember wanting to be a marketer, but I looked at the U of U's marketing degree and it had more math than I wanted to take. So then I went to Weber and got a professional sales degree because it's like my math was done. It was like you'd have to take no more math and you could get a bachelor's degree. So I was like, heck yeah, I'll do that. So I did the professional sales degree up at Weber because I knew my dad would kill me if I didn't at least get a bachelor's. And then after I graduated, I started a video production company with a buddy. And then that was really the where a lot of the learning came in of the inner workings of corporate and business and how to market ourselves organically. Um, and we, over the course of 3 years, grew that to 17 employees. And then that gave me my jumping pad to after that imploded in on itself. I had just enough clout to get a meeting with Alex MacArthur at Kizik and get a job there. And that got me to where I needed to go. So I didn't get into marketing on purpose, but thankfully I ended up where I wanted to be, just all because I wanted to avoid math.
All
I
because you
had
wanted to
to
avoid
go
math.
start and ruin a business
And
to
see, we
get
got
into
just
marketing.
enough clout to get a podcast with Levi Lindsay, male model and mathematician.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it.
No,
And
I'm
I
the same.
know,
When I was in college, every course those math classes, man. I look at math and I need to understand like the why, and it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't click up in this brain. I'm telling you.
You can't argue your way into or out of math. And like, that's always been more my strong suit is like convincing people of things
Yeah.
or talking my way into or out of things. Um, like if I could just talk all day, that's what I would do. But math, you have to just sit down. It's very logical. I'm also not, I don't know, what are the colors? Whatever the like logical one is, I'm not that. I'm like a hard yellow, and then my
Oh, I know what you're
secondary
talking.
is
Yeah,
red.
okay.
Yellow is like the creative one.
Right.
Red is like the alpha dominant. Blue, I think, blue, I think is like safe, steady, and then I think white is like the logical, calculated.
Dang, I haven't done that in, I think I did that about a decade ago. I couldn't
Yeah,
tell you
like
what my,
Discover Card did
yeah.
the
Maybe we
profiles.
should make our agents do that. Watch, they're all going to be
I
red.
like to think of it more in terms of Ninja Turtles. Like I'm
Yeah.
Michelangelo. He's because they actually are, you can see they are the four different personality types, the Ninja Turtles. Uh, Michelangelo, he's the party one. He's the one that just is more impulsive, creative, spontaneous. So growing up, I was always like, yeah, Michelangelo, he's a cool dude. I'd want to hang with him.
I mean, look at his freaking skateboard, man.
Exactly, dude.
Freaking love it.
So let's do some rapid fire. Let's get to know Levi Lindsay a little bit better. And since you're sipping on some Coca-Cola there, let's start with this. Coffee, energy drink, or soda to get your day started?
Oh, it's not good, but just ingredients pre-workout every morning, whether I'm working out or not.
Pre-workout? Dang.
Get you
Pre-workout.
bouncing off the walls, dude. Get your whole body
I'd be
tingling.
over here like hitting my stocks,
But yeah,
do
man, you'll
some
feel it in your
working on my
butt cheeks
arms.
real quick.
That's funny. What's your creative process in one word?
Oh, in one word, TikTok.
Yeah, that's a good. We just started
That's
that.
2 words technically, though.
What about one word that clients overuse in your industry that drives you crazy?
Oh man. Oh, you dear, sweet, lovely, personal injury lawyers. Every billboard. Injured? Question mark. Quit
Injured?
it. Stop it. Injured? Injured? Stop
Injured?
it. Like we could get more creative. There are two billboards on I-15 from two competitors. I love you both. I want to close you. Please use Hona. But they both say injured question mark, and I'm like, you can't like
I bet I could guess these law firms too. I won't do that because I don't
100
want to be wrong, but I think I know which billboards you're talking about.
right
I
there, right
want to
at the point of
close
the
you. I
mountain.
love it.
Injured? Injured?
That's funny.
You know what? I'll
Well,
give you a free, like amazing creative billboard idea if I can close one of you. So just in case they're seeing this, I'll put that in there.
I love it.
you got it. Free creative. Reach out. Speaking of organic reach or paid growth.
Um, paid in the short term, organic always for the long term.
That's an interesting one because we're obviously in a startup, right? Like I think we've been pretty lucky in terms of like some of the traction we got early on, but we struggle with this. So like I guess even in the rapid fire, I want to kind of dive into this, right? Like especially as somebody your background for startups, right? Because even like being profitable, you're obviously very cash flow like you're very aware of your cash flow. So like when you say paid to start and organic for sure, right? Like I think a lot of our traffic today comes through LinkedIn. So like where would you for like a startups in particular, kind of just with your experience, how do you navigate when to pull the trigger for paid, and like maybe that's a big question, but hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good point too. It does depend on where you're at. So like if you're just starting out, um, the thing I just hate to see is like if you're trying to do organic and you're not like an amazing creator and you're not good at organic already, you're going to you're going to fail or you're going to hit a wall and you're going to be really frustrated with yourself. So if you're in B2B, it's like go to where your customers are at and get the low-hanging fruit first. And it's usually not on organic. Like organic is this long-term play to build up a following and have no expectations around sales. It's like I'm just going to go and I'm just going to build audience and provide value, and I'm not going to worry about the sales that come from it. Um, and then if in the meantime you need to make sales while you're building your organic strategy and building up your owned audience, then you need to go to conferences, or you need to just be hitting LinkedIn messaging and stuff. But like it doesn't happen overnight, I would say. And so you would be really like a lot of the times people will try organic for 30 days, and like the founder will post every day for 30 days and be like, well, where are all the sales? And you'll just get frustrated and want to quit. And that's often what happens. And it's like, no, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
think
think,
we just basically shit all over our industry. Like we're in call center, so like our entire strategy is like, hey, let's just call out all the broken shit and let's get some attention, and it's worked. But like it comes into, because this is kind of the shift happens, and really it's just a politically correct way of saying shit happens. And really what we're trying to get at is like, let's get into like AI and automation specifically in this space, because you'll see a lot of people, I think, like if we talk about LinkedIn in particular, like I've seen a lot of people on there saying like, hey, I've got all these followers, but like my impressions are way down. And I think part of that's happening because everybody's becoming a creator because of Chat GPT. Like you really don't have to think about shit. You can just type in there and sound smart with little to no thought. I mean, you can really tell the people that do it fabulous. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but now it's being drowned by noise. And like, so how is, in your opinion, because obviously you fight with like paid ads, and like how do you think companies can cut through the noise, given the fact that there's just so much volume today because everybody's become a creator with Chat GPT or whatever AI tool?
yeah, I think even if you go the organic route versus the paid route, or vice versa, you have to learn both if you're going to like win long term. And then also, if you put all your eggs in one basket and just hope for organic growth, like for instance, I've been creating on LinkedIn for the last 5 years, and I've had posts that have had up to 3 million views just alone on that post. And there's been times where I'm averaging 50,000 views for a post, every single post for months. But that I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but LinkedIn just killed everybody's algorithm. Like I average now maybe 10,000 views a post instead of 50,000. And maybe that's the oversaturation of ChatGPT content. But I also think that LinkedIn kind of switched their algorithm up. Um, and I think it's maybe to follow more of what TikTok is doing that Instagram then followed, which is favoring content based on audience engagement rather than focusing on followers. So I see buddies of mine that have 100,000 LinkedIn followers post something and get 5 likes. So
Yeah.
it's this combination of like content that the new LinkedIn algorithm favors, and then also like the first engagement within the hour. I don't know. It's a mystery I would love solved.
Yeah, like figure out what's going on. And even if you're getting 10,000, it seems like you're doing well. I don't know if I want to like share their name, but there's a dude that's actually pretty, I think he's got like 80,000 some odd followers on LinkedIn. And this kind of sparked the question because he put a post out um, last week saying like, dude, I wrote this like really meaningful article. I have 80,000 followers and I got 890 impressions. And he's like, I've spent the last 20 years building my audience, and I drop meaningful knowledge on an article, and LinkedIn determines 800 people are worthy of seeing this. I actually follow the dude closely. I never even saw the article. And so I was just curious, but it sounds like I think we're all still figuring it out, because in my mind, I'm like, it's funny. I actually did an experiment and I talked to Preston. I said, specifically with LinkedIn, I see a lot of people like just take a picture of a book or highlight some sentence that they didn't even write, and like just picture highlighted page of a book and like boom, viral.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know if it's because it's scroll
Dude,
stopping. I don't.
Justin, this is such a good question that needs to be asked. I wish the CEO of LinkedIn was listening to this and could tell us, because exact experience. I'll do this meaningful post that's written beautifully, and I'm so proud of myself after, and I post it, and I'm just like, I am the man.
Man.
Um, and then it just absolutely poops the bed. But then I posted a picture. I was at Costco, and there's that tomato sauce that almost looks like ROAS, but it's RAOS instead of, wait, it's
Yeah,
RAOS.
Rayos.
Yeah, yeah, instead of but I was thinking, oh, ROAS, like marketer. I took a picture of it, asked a question. I was like, if you're a marketer, you know. And just 105,000 views in 3 days. Everyone's jumping in with a comment about how the cans are turned differently, or how you shouldn't display things like that, because they're an industry expert in like end cap displays at grocery stores. And I'm like, I don't get
This
it,
is what it
Justin.
takes, man.
A
We're just
picture of a tomato can.
and for ROAS, return on ad spend, right? Is that
Yeah, yeah.
okay? Yeah, okay, yeah.
I think
The
some
And that was
people
like
are
one of the
just
least said comments on there too. Like, it's just so dumb. Or you do a poll about In and Out versus Five Guys, and that thing will go absolutely gangbusters.
yeah.
And then you get in there and you're like, you give the most genuine and well thought out learnings as a marketer, where you're like, wow, that would have really helped me if I was, you know, this would have helped me earlier on in my career, and it just absolutely poops the bed. I don't get it.
Well, it's funny because one of the next question I was going to ask you is AI in marketing. Is it a threat or a boost? But you kind of answered that. But I think it's funny with with LinkedIn, some people engaging, like you said, in those polls. I almost wonder and assume that some people are just afraid to give their feedback on legitimate business issues, right? Like afraid that their boss is going to see it, or if they like something, especially on some of the stuff that we post when we're talking down on vanity KPIs. Are they going to get it? Are they embarrassed to like it or comment on it?
Well,
And
for sure some people are. They're like,
yeah,
oh, I want to like this so much, but my boss will be mad at me. For sure. I've even been guilty of that myself. I've seen some shit and been working for somebody, and I'm like, oh, this will look passive aggressive, so I'm not going to engage.
There, yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I think that
Even
was a
now, I
really,
won't comment.
I think this is a really good question that you brought up though. What did you say at the beginning there? Because you said, is AI a threat
yeah.
or
It's like
a,
AI in marketing. Is it a threat or is it like a boost, a turbo boost?
yeah, what's your take on that, dude?
I think AI, like most new things, are like fire, where if used correctly, it can roast a delicious marshmallow, or it can set an apartment complex in Lehigh on fire, like it did this weekend.
Well played.
Um, so it just depends on how it's used. I also think that, like, there's all this natural fear around AI, and at the end of the day, anxiety is caused by just us worrying about things that we can't control. And it's like, look, AI is here. You can sit here and worry about it, or you can just figure out what are the actions I can take to ensure that I'll have a job tomorrow. Like, people need to quit worrying and being fearful, and they just need to start taking action.
Yeah,
Like
utilizing it themselves.
yeah, I think there's a lot of people out of work right now that wished they would have started building a LinkedIn presence 3 years ago. And it's like, well, start today. If you're worried about AI, start building a LinkedIn presence. Go start a side. Like, honestly, I'm worried about AI, and I'm worried about the future of everything. So I started a little side business with my buddy in ecom to help, hedge my bets.
Yeah, when we first started Sonic, I did not have a LinkedIn presence. I had a profile for all intents and purposes, but really didn't do anything with it. So it's funny you say that.
Uh,
But what's your favorite marketing tool or platform right now?
Oh, man, Clay for B2B, Clay is probably the biggest one I've been geeking out over.
Play, huh?
It's
CLAY?
it,
Is it spelled?
yep,
Yep.
yep, clay.com. I love their branding. Their AI tools are just insane. For example, so here's a use case for Clay. We were going and scraping state bar websites for lawyer contacts. And then we were sending that overseas to manually figure out like what attorney count was and what practice areas were those firms were practicing. And so it would take forever. It was expensive, but you could put that into Clay and have the AI go and look at the firm, enrich the contact, go to the website, look for attorney count, feed that back, look for practice areas, feed that back. You can even have it like automatically enrich contacts as they come into the inbound flow. You can, I've seen Clay replace entire softwares that are worth, $100 million with just like a simple workflow within Clay.
That's insane.
I think they're probably one of the ones I admire the most right now at least in the B2B game.
What's insane too is that it can have such a big impact, like you were talking about, and I haven't even heard of it.
Yeah,
You know?
it's
Yeah,
crazy. Huh?
now I know
Yeah.
what I'm going to be doing this afternoon, geeking out on
Going down
Clay.
the
I think.
clay rabbit
Well,
hole.
yeah, I think Preston. What was the one you just started? You were messing.
Yeah, it's like what's it called? The Claude. Yeah, it's
Oh
I
yeah.
just see it advertised everywhere, so I was like, oh, check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, and
Do
I
you
use.
like what do you like? Oh, sorry, go ahead,
No,
Justin.
go ahead, dude. Go for it.
Preston, what do you like between the difference between Claude and ChatGPT?
I
Do you
mean,
like Claude more, or
they're
what do you
they're
like Claude
fairly
for?
they're fairly similar. The funny thing is, I actually like ChatGPT because it gives me more of the ability to download information within my projects themselves, like my branding guides, and but sometimes GPT doesn't accept
What a
like
terrible name, by the way.
URLs. I know. Claude.
Like, can ChatGPT afford a better name? Like well, I know they can,
Hey, they just bought
but
chat.com.
did they?
Yeah. So now they're chat.com,
Okay,
which is a huge threat to Google. But yeah, they went and dropped $50 million on the domain. I think some insane
okay, I
amount. It
didn't
might have
know
been
that.
15. Yeah, they just
Good,
bought
because
chat.com.
Preston, that was the perfect example of how it's just the worst name ever.
It is, I mean, I used to say what just it just would come out Chat GBT like for
Yeah,
months, and he's like, it's Chat GPT, and I'm like, I know, it's
My brain doesn't want to
just
fix it.
goes there.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
That's
awesome.
funny though. But
I
yeah,
think like
I haven't gone too deep into Claude yet. That's just something I started playing with probably at the end of last week. So
Yeah, I've
we'll
heard
awesome.
see.
really cool things about Claude though.
I need to check it out. I want to check out Perplexity too, since
Oh
I
yeah.
listen to Joe Rogan. I know they sponsor it, but I'm like, cool, I'll check it out anyway and see what it's about. But this leads me into because there's really kind of a question that keeps me. I'm not a marketing professional by any means, but since we're a brand new startup, really we kind of you got to look at like how do we invest, and when we do paid marketing, what's the smartest way to do it, right? Like we set up a TikTok account, Instagram account, like kind of just standard stuff. And boy, is it hard to make content for call centers that's actually funny, which or that people want to watch. But where like with everything that's changing, and I'm kind of asking you to predict the future because like historically, like you would do a lot of AdWords campaigns and like SEO, and I know that there's like forget the term for SEO, but it's like all these articles so that like backlinks, I think is what it was called.
Hmm.
So you can like drive more. Do you see that changing like and shaping, especially like a lot of people are going to Chat GPT or Claude? Like what it in your mind, even as a marketer, is there anything like glaring signals that are going to reshape the way that people get attention, even organic or paid, but like
Yeah, I think one thing that won't change, which I actually love, Jeff Bezos says that he's like, people ask too often what will change, and he's like, people need to ask more what won't change. And that kind of sounds like me being a dick, Justin. Like, I
no, no,
refuse
no,
your
no,
question, but
no, it's
it's my little swizzle. But I think what won't change is um, people want to be entertained, even if they're being sold to, they want to be entertained. And as things get more and more competitive, like you said, like with LinkedIn, um, unless there's like some rage bait in there or something really funny or something very human about the post around thoughtful marketing or something like that, it's not going to get the engagement. So I think that you have to understand how to get people to engage with content is not going to change. Um, I think the same, like ChatGPT is just searching the internet in the way that Google is. And so like if you're not building your presence, if you're not making content, you're not going to be found on LLMs, just like you're not going to be found on Google. Like it, if you have no internet presence, then you're not going to, LLMs aren't going to be able to find you, if that makes sense.
It does.
So I think the same principles apply. I think they'll be different and they'll be tweaked, but like it's who's my audience? Where are they at? What do they want to see? And how do I digest this into a message? Like for me, it's like LinkedIn doesn't work for personal injury attorneys, but it really works on Meta. So I'm focused on Meta content, which is very different than LinkedIn content. Or maybe your ICP is really on Reddit. So you got to learn the culture of Reddit and get on Reddit. Like every company I've been to, it's the same game. It's just different ICPs and different platforms and different content that I have to make. But at the end of the day, it's always who's this audience? How do I digest the message? Where are they at for me to get this seen? I don't know if that makes any sense, but
Well, it does. I mean, your shit works. I mean, I'm not even in injury law. I think you guys, I saw a campaign like somebody's wearing a fish tank on their head. You got
oh,
into
yeah.
like full freaking makeup, like for a film. And I mean, that like, it looked like you really had like a professional makeup artist do you up as like a fish.
I did. That was 3 hours, 3 hours on and then 2 hours to get off. It was too much.
Was it
Yeah.
really? Dang.
Two
Yeah.
hours to get off?
Yeah, 2 hours to get off because she has to slowly do
Yeah,
glue remover so that it
prosthetics,
doesn't
whatever.
rip my face off.
So you have eyebrows when you're done.
Yeah.
No.
But that's like it's all the same principles as Kizik and stuff. And like people even forget they're like, oh, I'm selling in the legal industry, so I need to look like everybody else and I need to be buttoned up. And it's like at the end of the day, these are mostly just dudes that go home and they love fart jokes and like, yeah, in a lawyerly setting, they're not going to admit it, but like when it comes to digesting content on the weekend on Meta, they're a lawyer, but they also love humor and they want to see something exciting and funny.
No, it works. That's how I learned about, I think I learned about you initially, Neighbor. You were just doing some weird videos out in the parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and really Neighbor is like totally separate, but you were using the parking lot of the office building to like film some weird content that happened to work, right? And
That's
even
amazing.
Kizik's,
That's a throwback.
yeah, that
Yeah, I
was a
tried
long time
everything
ago.
from croc Heelys to running over a bunch of boxes with a VW bug to like water skiing in the parking lot. I tried everything to get attention.
We were
It
talking
worked.
about what was that guy's name, Justin, that has like for the stocks back in the day on the TV.
Oh, he's talking about, he's still got it. The Bull Run, James
Oh,
Kramer.
Yeah.
James Kramer, I think is the
yes.
I
dude's
mean,
name.
he keeps you entertained for sure.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
And
Bye,
that's
bye,
that's
bye.
the key is you have to like you have to figure out how to interweave certain things into your content that will get engagement. Like I was talking to a buddy who's got a client in marketing that's really thriving. They turn your center console in any car into a screen that can play Netflix and Disney and stuff. In his content, he touches the screen with only his pinky. And all the comments are, what's going on with this pinky? Like, why are you touching with your pinky? Like, and it's just kind of the rage bait. And that just comes down to like figuring out the tricks to get people to engage with your content that I don't think will ever go away. And like, I don't even know if AI will ever really be able to predict those human elements of using your pinky versus using your pointer. Um, and so that's one thing I don't think will change.
No, I would agree with because I think AI will help bring your idea to life much faster, much more
Yeah.
affordable, but the ideas still have to come from somewhere. And even if you can see it on LinkedIn, right? Going back to that example, you can clearly see like this dude just put a query in, like didn't even take 5 seconds to try to change the formatting to even look like, hey, I wrote this. No, that shit, you can just see it. Uh, so that, yeah, that's interesting because, and you know, like the reason, kind of the theory behind our podcast, right? We're obviously in a space that is going to transform a ton. Like call centers in general, you don't even have to be in the industry. You understand that like there's AI voice agents now that can sound almost like you can't even tell the difference. I mean, we heard a demo the other day. You couldn't, if you didn't know who the AI was, you wouldn't have been able to guess. And they both sounded
Yeah.
human. Is there
Yeah.
anything happening in your industry in marketing at all that's standing out to you in that sense? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I've seen full on. My background is very heavily in video production, um, and yeah, the video production coming out of like Sora and stuff like that is really getting there. And I do think one shift that will happen probably in like the content creation game is I still think there's going to be people that are editors, but maybe filmers will start to shrink and like it will be master AI prompters. Because I still think to get what you want, it's going to take time, but it's just going to take different time. Like instead of hiring a video crew to go to the set and do everything, it's like you're probably just going to work with one dude with four monitors who just knows like how to prompt AI to do everything that you wanted it to do. Because now you can tell AI, like, hey, film this in the desert with a 55 millimeter lens with the sun at this position and have the character do this. But like, it still takes the time to prompt the AI to do that. And so I think that's probably the shift, at least in video production, that I'll see.
yeah, I think I tried Sora, and like I was like when I first introduced to it and I tried to do a commercial for Sonic, and literally like the shit was so broken. Like the dude was moving in reverse and he grabbed a cup of coffee and it came out of the table and then like a third arm appeared. Like there, because the prompts actually do matter.
Yeah.
So, but that does make sense. You're going to have prompt specialists and then creatives like yourself that are like, "Hey, here's the idea, bring it to life."
Yeah. And then I think even within the marketing org, I think there's going to be more of an emphasis on operations, like marketing operations, using tools like Clay to replace tools and to make workflows happen within N8N. Like even the shift in me starting at Hona till now, that's been something where as soon as I learned that you can create agents to do all these different workflows, we've started emphasizing more our marketing operations and putting more funds towards marketing operations.
So that brings me, I think this is a question we struggle with. First of all, I have to say there are a lot of shitty website designers out there. It absolutely infuriates me. I wish I had the passion for it, but um, should I even? I lost my thought. So like we're a startup, profitable, like and really this kind of I want this content to be meaningful for like other startups and small to medium sized businesses. Like when would you advise? Like what's a meaningful marketing kind of budget? And like when would you advise companies? Because like you want to be smart with cash, right? Like we
Mm-hmm.
learned some valuable lessons. Like starting this company hasn't come without some like, well, that was stupid moments, right? Like learn to trust our gut. But we spent thousands of dollars on building a website that basically at this point is a homepage. Like, and now we're a little bit jaded. And it's like, I think it's important to find the right person to do the activity. But for startups, with your experience, like how would you advise, groups that are like trying to sharpen their message, go to market to like, what's, kind of budget and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I one big lesson I've learned is that working with contractors is huge, but then also like there's a sweet spot with contractors where you almost have to find the like hungry individuals that just left corporate America and now they're building their agency. And selfishly, as a VP of marketing, I'm like, that's the sweet spot because it's like this person's going to do all my web stuff for $1,200 a month. But then you talk to the mature contractors where they have bureaucracy and red tape and they're an agency with 50 employees. And they're like, yeah, so our minimum package starts at $6,000 a month and it has 4 changes you can make to your website a month. And da, 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 da. It's like, no, no, no. I want to work with that one dude who's hungry as heck and just does not want to have a full-time job, but like is really great to work with. Those are my favorite. And then if you have someone in house, you have to have like a grinder who's going to just be able to do a ton. And that's the shift in marketing right now is like you have to be hungry and you have to be willing to do a ton and you have to understand a lot because the experts are either going to be used as contractors and not full time, or if you're full time, you're going to be expected to maybe do more than just one job. Um, so I always test with contractors now is my philosophy before I bring it in house. Um, and I always try to look for those small contractors that haven't gone big yet and don't have a bunch of employees. I
Do you
can't now. I'm
like go
trying to remember
Fiverr, or
the.
are you just like posting on LinkedIn? Like, who's a badass out there that?
Yeah, it's mostly going and finding the badasses. Fiverr's hard because they're already like spread super thin. But like if you can, that's where network really comes in. Is uh,
Yeah.
most all the employees I have, um, and that's why LinkedIn, being present on LinkedIn is always amazing because you can post like, "Hey, I'm looking for so and so," or you can hit up another VP of marketing and be like, "Dude, who do I use for this?" Or and then also like just cut that contractor fast because not every contractor is great. Um, so being willing to just cut them quick. I think the future marketing teams are going to be like one person orchestrating it all. Like the new VP of marketing is like an orchestrator, and then you've got a paid ads contractor, maybe some creative contractors, um, and then like maybe a life cycle contractor and an ops contractor. And you're just using as much time as you can fractionally and being as nimble as you can.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
And I,
we had one that recently that threw some good stuff at us for our websites, but just gave me a bad feeling. And I told Justin, man, I just got a bad feeling about this guy
this is
for
a true
sure.
story, dude.
I
Yeah,
mean, he wouldn't screen share any of the stuff that we were working on. He would just send us images, and he's like,
couldn't come on
"Let's follow
camera.
your gut." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Wrong,
we're
Yeah.
done."
wrong name. We're like all the way to the finish line, and Preston's like, so we're like, we got the invoice, and he goes, dude, I don't know why, but I have like the weirdest feeling, and so we just pulled the plug, which
Yeah,
made us look like assholes to these guys because
Yeah.
we're like right there at the 1 yard line, but like that's one thing I think we learned after being burned a few times. Like, dude, trust your gut.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Like, it wasn't a huge, but I do want to because I think I have one, and then Preston. I feel like I've asked a lot of questions, so I'll try to step out of the
Good.
way, dude. The difference between and kind of speaking, I think this transcends all industries, but where's that balance for you between personal branding and branding your business, right? Because I know Hona because I know Levi Lindsay. Now, I'm also not an injury lawyer, right? So like, but where do you what's that balance for you? How much time should companies be branding themselves as individuals versus branding the business?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I do think for me, particularly at Hona, I don't think we get a lot of sales benefit. But I do think we get a lot of awareness when it comes to hiring. Like it sounds dumb, but like some people will be um, they'll come in and they'll be like, oh, I follow a few of you on LinkedIn, and so like, or that's how I heard of you, and then that's how we get connected, and you can get references, and or you find people through networking. But we don't get a lot of like Hona sales as a byproduct because personal injury attorneys just aren't very active on LinkedIn. But like you look at the EV Auto guy, Alex, I that's kind of the future, honestly, of at least organic marketing is like if your CEO is willing to be on there um, and put themselves out there. But he's on the right platform. He's on TikTok and Instagram, but he's actually also on LinkedIn. He's actually good at all platforms. But um, it, I haven't had that benefit at Hona like I have like Kizik. A lot of people bought Kizik shoes because they saw me on LinkedIn. We closed Amazon when I was at VidArmy because everyone knew me as the video guy. And so when the VP of advertising at Amazon said, I'm looking for someone for video, my name came in the comments several times. And then we got a meeting and then we closed it. Um, so yeah, I don't get a lot of benefit from sales for it now, but there's a lot of secondary benefits that come from it outside of just direct sales, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of back end, a lot of partnerships, new relationships,
Yeah.
networking.
I don't think anyone would ever regret having a platform. Like it just only benefits you wherever you're at. But especially if you have a very wide-reaching product, a very demonstrable product, or I should say a very agnostic product, like lots of people can buy it, um, then you can benefit from platform probably more than as niched as I am now. But I'll go to the next company and then maybe that they'll be able to benefit from some direct sales. But
Well,
Yeah, I mean, we have so many different things rolling out right now. It's going to be curious, where we have some back end stuff. Obviously can't say too much about the stuff that we post on LinkedIn, our website, our podcasts. So it'll be interesting to see where we are in five,
yeah,
10 years from now.
I will say
What to
one
come of
really
it.
cool thing. My buddy, I just had him on our podcast, Live Laugh Lawsuit. He's on LinkedIn as a personal injury attorney, and I think they're starting to catch on. But because LinkedIn has so much written content, his SEO is actually shot through the roof. And now when you search um, for personal injury attorney in his area, he comes up in like the top three or something like that because he puts out so much LinkedIn content. Um, I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah, I need to
yeah,
put out
LinkedIn.
more. That's for sure. But what's next for Hona? What's next for you? Say the next 12 months.
I don't know, man. Just trying to make it through Q4. I'm not even thinking about 2026 yet. Just go to a
That's
bunch of
I
about
hear
conferences
you.
honest
probably.
answer.
I
I
Make
hear
a
don't
you.
bunch
know,
of
I'm
man.
still
ads.
It's
thinking about I'm
Q4.
still thinking about last month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
So
Oh
I feel
shit.
you. But I know we're coming close on time here, so I guess to just say, you know, tell us or the viewers how they can find you, how they can connect with you.
Yeah. Just anytime you see a Lola blanket billboard shirtless guy, it's most likely me. I know it's
Are they
embarrassing, but
purchasing the
Wait,
the, the
you know what,
model
dude?
or
Hey, what the hell happened to you? Had I think it was with what was it, Lindsay Ivy? You were doing
yeah.
some like weird shit, like
Oh, the
what?
robe, the red robe
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, with the ring or
Oh,
what? What was that? Whatever
that
happened
was
to
a good
that?
time. That was a good time.
Yeah, whatever.
They were my entourage. That was sweet.
Dude, he was like it was like the most interesting man in the world type. I don't what were you I forget what it was, but he'd be in front of like a fireplace with a robe and a kitten or some shit,
Yeah,
like a gold
yeah.
ring and whatever happened? What happened to that?
What were we doing? I think we were like unboxing products in
Yeah, it was
front of my
like Pillow
fireplace.
Cube or something and
Yeah.
yeah. You
Yeah,
guys
that was to get people's attention in the product space, and it worked. Mostly it was like divorcees over 40, just they love my body for some reason the most.
I was gonna say selling blankets or kittens.
It was a lot of Cougars, and I don't mean BYU fans were mostly interested. So high intent clicks, but the wrong kind of clicks, you know what I mean?
I
No,
remember those
that's a throwback,
campaigns.
dude. I forgot
Yeah,
about that. Shout
dude,
out to
you'd be
Lindsay
like,
Ivy.
yeah, I'll have to show you that. I don't remember. I remember I was like, these are hilarious. I freaking thought they were funny, but yeah, I think
You'll
we'll
have
have
to
to
dig
find a
deep
way
into
to
the
bring
archives
that
for
kind of
that.
energy to call centers. Just, it was pretty cool, dude. So, but you're obviously Hona on LinkedIn. You guys, Hona has obviously got some presence on Facebook, and then I would assume
Mhm.
Instagram, TikTok. You're
Yep,
basically everywhere.
Hona.com, Hona, on all major platforms. And then you can find me on LinkedIn, Levi Lindsay.
Oh, you're a stud, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you joining us, and see how this thing evolves over the next 12 months. Really, we got to stay consistent, and having guys like you on, super helpful. I think we even got some takeaways that we can use ourselves.
Yeah, no,
as
absolutely.
we grow. Any closing thoughts, sir?
Just hug your kids tonight.
What if you don't have kids?
If you don't have kids,
Hug
go hug
myself.
yourself. I don't know.
Hug
There you
yourself.
go.
Everybody
tonight.
give yourself a
Okay,
hug.
we'll end
and with
the
that,
episode with the
we say
self-hug.
good night.